How'd it feel seeing that one in person tonight?
It was beautiful. I didn't know if it was going to get out. I knew he hit it really hard, and the outfield was playing deep. He's kind of like no doubles type situation. We had a runner at first, and man, it just kept going. He hit it hard, and it traveled. So it was a good feeling to finally get the lead and knowing that you know who he had in the bullpen to come finish it for us.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Florida series, how stressful of a 5, 6 game period has this been where you're playing from behind for so long until he got that home run?
Yeah, I mean it's been a tough stretch. Obviously, it's you just have to baseball. You have to stay strong-minded and you have to keep fighting. You can, it just doesn't go your way all the time, and when it does, you take advantage of it. And we did that tonight when, you with a couple of good swings, we scored 3 runs. We had an opportunity in the first and just couldn't come through with the big hit, or maybe it was the second. I don't remember what it was, but you know, uh, Ryder provided those swings, but Souza got on before him, and that was big.
Hunter Dietz gave you 7 innings, 1 earned run. I mean, is this what you've been looking for on Friday night? I know it's game 2 of the series, but I
Yeah.
mean, how well does that put him in maybe that game 1 consideration?
Yeah. So he was great tonight, obviously, and he was really from about the third, fourth inning on, he was better than he was at the beginning. He got on a roll, and his cutter was outstanding, and their left-handers really struggled with it. Um, I think the two hardest pitches he threw of the night were like his last two, and that was like pitch number 105 and 106. So he's strong.
What do you think about what McIlvain gave you, retiring every batter he faced?
That's great. I mean, he got 6 outs on 22 pitches, a few strikeouts in there, and it was just great. Excuse me, I'm trying to get over this cold. It was just great to see him doing what he's been doing and filling up the zone and uh, challenging their hitters, and he was outstanding.
I may have another one, but I'll let Jackson go.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Yeah, Dave, a lot of times with Hunter, when he's got it rolling like that, there's not that many base runners, and there weren't tonight, but fifth, sixth, seventh inning, they got one runner on and he worked around it and stranded him. I mean, just how impressive is that to see SEC, you guys are on the ropes here, what he was able to do with runners on tonight?
Yeah, we were talking about that on the bus ride back, Coach Hobbs and I, about how big that bottom of the seventh, I think, is when they stranded that runner at third or second, wherever he was, and just to give and get that next hitter out to get in the dugout, it lined up perfectly what we were going to do with Ethan, um, and just him working around, maybe a base hit or whatever, and a stolen base, and got us in the dugout. They scored a couple of runs, but no big damage early, and then we felt like we were in it. But our pitchers were outstanding tonight.
You know, you mentioned Souza, you move him up to the leadoff spot tonight. Was that what went into that decision? I mean, it paid off. He gets on before Ryder's home run. Were you thinking any like, hey, that's where we started the season. Let's try and get back to that maybe?
Well, excuse me, a little bit of that. Just I feel like he's swinging the bat really well. I just wanted to get Rutenbauer in more of a position to maybe drive in a run, and I don't know if he ever had anybody on base when he was up. Uh, I know two or three. I think he had 4 bats. I think three of the 4 bats. I don't think he had anybody on. Maybe all of them, but that was the thinking there. It's just he's a contact guy, and we need somebody driving some runs.
The broadcast kind of mentioned it, like guys up on the dugouts, some anxiety maybe of just like needing some sort of breakthrough. Like, how much do you sense this team needed not only just a win, but a comeback, an emotional night like this, maybe?
But we definitely needed it, and I don't think there was anxiety going on in the dugout. I think there was a lot of guys that were just into it. They were fighting for their teammates and just trying to do whatever we could to find a way to win. So that's what I saw. I didn't feel a bunch of stress in there.
Thanks, Dave.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Rutenbarg never came up with anybody on base tonight. So, but my question was about him. What did you think of what he gave you at cleanup? And even got on base in the eighth inning with they threw the ball away, but that was a tough play.
Yeah, he singled and then he also doubled. He doubled to lead off an inning. I think, excuse me, the second time around maybe, and that was frustrating. We didn't score him. And at the time it was 2-0. We were just trying to cut that lead in half. But no, he did a good job in there. And that last at bat, man, he saw another 8, 9 pitches. I don't know what he saw. And I think he hit maybe a changeup kind of off the end of the bat. And they got him or whatever. I think it was an error and then they got him, but whatever.
Yeah, it was 10 pitches on that one.
Wow.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about who might start for you tomorrow? Are you still going to talk that over some with Matt, or what all thoughts?
We'll start Fisher tomorrow.
All right, Matt, close it out.
Just what goes into the thought by starting Fisher, and then you mentioned last night you still got Gibbler available. How do you feel about how the bullpen stacks up tomorrow?
I mean, we've got most of our guys available, and we'll do what we need to do to try to win that game tomorrow. And I think both teams are in the same boat. We both used about the same amount of pitching, so it should be a good one.
Ryder had the two big swings, but man, he seemed like he was awfully active tonight behind the plate, like a lot of dribblers out in front of the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think about the defensive night that he had?
I thought he had a great night. I mean, he was blocking balls and they were advancing on dirt ball reads and he was throwing the ball there. They tried to steal a couple of bags and I think he had 3 choppers and little nubbers out in front of the plate. And yeah, I mean he did a great job. He's a very athletic catcher.
And then just from a pitch calling perspective, I mean, how much credit does he get for the the night that Dietz and McIlvain had collectively?
Well, he can have all of it. That's how way I feel about it. I think he called about 99% of them, so he did a great job.
Okay, thank you.
Jackson,
Okay.
wrap it up.
Yeah, just one more, Dave. Marciano threw 30 pitches in the second. If that doesn't happen, maybe he goes all 9. Just how big was that inning? Even though you don't score, to ensure they have to go to the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, that was big because the first inning only threw 6 pitches, and have him throw 30 all of a sudden, he's back on pace to maybe go 6 or 7 innings if we can get him to around 15 to 20 pitches an inning. Yeah, I thought our hitters did a great job working him that inning, and the ball that Aloy popped up to center, I mean, he just missed it. He was on it, and if he'd have squared that up, it would have went 500 feet. I mean, he took a really good swing at it after taking 2 balls. I know he's frustrated, but we saw some progress there.
Coach, appreciate your time. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Hunter, it felt like the team really was in need because the bullpen had thrown so many innings here lately of having a starter step up and really kind of have some length. I mean, how happy are you that you were able to do that tonight? And what do you think about your performance?
It was awesome just to, get the team on the right path, back on track to where we should be. I don't think anybody on this team is doubting our talent at all. I think we all know how good we are. And just to get us on the right track feels really great.
Ryder, I was thinking, a couple of years ago, you had a go-ahead home run in the ninth down at Auburn in game 2. You've had a good weekend there. Is there a comfort maybe of hitting in that ballpark for you?
I don't know if it's comfort, just trusting, sticking with it, trying to swing at the right pitches, I think is a big key. And, seem to be doing that so far. So still got work to do tomorrow.
I wonder what both of you thought about Ethan McIlvain and the 2 innings that he was able to give you at the end.
I thought it was big time, like you said earlier, bullpen's done a lot. Him coming in and shutting the door down like that was huge. I think for us, he just throws strikes. He competes really well, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge to have him come in the game and close it out in that fashion was just awesome. Gives us momentum going into tomorrow for sure.
Ryder, before you hit the first home run, you tried to bunt to lead off the inning. And I think you fouled it off. Was that your call? I mean, kind of what happened there, and I guess you're happy that the bunt didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, bunt didn't work. That one was nice, but it was my call. It's just try to get something going.
Mhm.
There've been a lot of zeros thrown up, and just try to get it rolling in the right direction. Try to start something, maybe do that, get on, start throwing balls, can work something out. But home run was nice. So
I think at that point, Marciano had retired 11 of 12 since you guys had loaded the bases in the second inning. It seemed like he kind of got into a groove. What was he doing well there in those middle innings?
I just think, pitchers are able to throw multiple pitches for strikes. It's hard to not really sit on one, but you can kind of get in between as a hitter. And I think he just did a good job of mixing speeds and mixing locations. And I mean, he's a good pitcher for a reason. So.
And then Hunter, I mean, were you kind of like taking that as a challenge? Because it seemed like, every time he'd go out and have a quick inning, you'd have one, and it was a really good pitching performance or a duel tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, getting back in the dugout. To me personally, I want to be like, I love pitching. I want to pitch all the time, but I want to be out in the field as little as possible to give the guys the longest innings possible. So coming back and forth isn't really a challenge for me, but it was really awesome just to go in, have a quick inning, come back out, and try to get our hitters into a groove.
I'll let
Jack-
Jackson go. I got a couple more.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Ryder, the first home run you hit off Marciano, I know it was an off-speed pitch. Was it a breaking ball? Was it a changeup? What'd you see there?
It was a changeup. So yeah.
And I mean, that's a pitch that, like, lefties have to have success against righties. I mean, what did you see what was the kind of the approach there on that bat? Did you feel like an off-speed pitch was coming there?
Uh, my approach never changes. It's always on time. Not really for a fastball, just on time. I feel like if you're slow and on time, you can react to everything. And I just saw something up, saw something I could do damage with, and that was just to go on it. So,
And from your perspective, Ryder, what was the best part about Hunter's performance tonight?
I think he competed really well. First two innings, gave up 2 runs in both those innings, and then he came back and gave up zeros. He threw everything for a strike that he needed to throw to, and I mean, he picked us up. Like he picked me up. I know I had the ball in the dirt for the strike that he should have been out on. I missed it, and he picked me up really big that inning, and he did that a couple times, which was huge for us. I think it just gives us all the momentum moving in tomorrow, and just sticking with us is big.
Hunter, no walks tonight from you. I mean, how much of a focus was that given? Last week it was a pretty strong pitching performance until kind of the walks started piling up. How much emphasis was there on having better control tonight?
I mean, I kind of would count the hit by pitch as a walk just
Okay.
because it was, I think, a 1-2 or 0-2 count. I needed to get that guy out. But I mean, this past week, I locked in on just command. And one of the big things for me and this whole pitching staff is we all have success when we just get ahead. The only damage that really happens to us as a staff is when we get behind. So a big focus for all of us was just to get ahead this weekend.
For either one of you guys, I mean, I know, a 5-game losing streak, you needed some sort of win, but could you feel just like the emotions of this were also maybe a little bit necessary for it to be a comeback win and on the road and stuff? I mean, how big can maybe the emotions of tonight hopefully carry you guys forward?
I mean, obviously, when it's great, baseball's a hard game, but what we did tonight's not going to help for tomorrow. I think we just need to get back to tomorrow's the next game, and that's the only game in front of us is that game. And it's not about what happened the night before. It's not about what's happened the past week. It's not about what's happened the past month. It's just having the game in front of us, and that's the only game that matters. So,
Yeah, I agree with
Awesome.
you. I agree with what Ryder said. I mean, Auburn's was kind of going through the same thing as us. They got swept last weekend, took the first game from us. We take this game. We're both going into tomorrow wanting to get the series. So we can't really hold on to tonight's win that long.
Last one for me, Ryder. You had your struggles as a freshman. What's it like watching Rutenbar right now? Who, no matter where Dave puts him in the lineup, he's getting on base. I mean, what's sticking out when you watch him at the plate?
I mean, we all kind of joked. DVH said something about it in one of our scrimmages. He was like, "Rubenbauer, he'll fight you," and I think that's just the perfect example of the kid. I mean, he gets down 0-2, he comes back 3-2 and has like a 15 pitch at bat. It feels like every single time, and it's just quality at bat every single time he gets in the box. And I think that's huge. It's awesome to see. I know how hard it is to play as a freshman and play consistently. And I mean, at the beginning, he wasn't getting in all the time, but when he would, he would have good at bats, and he deserves everything that he gets and everything that comes for him. It's great.
Thanks, guys.
Matt, wrap it up.
Yeah. Hey, Hunter, I think you threw 95 on your 94th pitch, and then I think you might have even hit 96 there, maybe on one of the last two or three pitches. Um, how much deeper you think you could have gone? Like, how much more do you think you had in the tank?
If they allowed me, I would have thrown like one inning maybe.
Hmm.
I've never went that deep. I've never thrown that many pitches in a lot of few years. But I felt great. I think it was just a situation that amped me up a lot. I really wanted to get him out. Guy on third. I don't know if there was a leadoff hit to start that inning, or maybe I got him out and there was a hit. But it was just a really big situation, really amped up. Um, Probably a lot of adrenaline. Just really wanted to get that out.
Yeah. And then for you, Ryder, you guys were playing from behind a lot, not just this weekend, but over the last 5 or 6 games. How good does it feel to be going into a game 3 with a chance to take the series, kind of in spite of what's going on here in the last week or so?
I think it's huge, 1-1. Um, Somebody said this earlier today. It's like if you would have told us at the beginning of the year if we win tomorrow that we're 3-4 in SEC series, like I think that's huge. Obviously it hasn't gone the way that we wanted it the past week, so it doesn't matter what's happened. All that is the game in front of us. So
Okay, thank you.
Fellas, appreciate your time. See you tomorrow.